Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the series Time to Talk, hosted by Project Purple and COVID19bd. So, throughout the series, we plan to bring on many guests to shed light on topics that we think need more focus on during today's time. So, for tonight, we have a very special guest, Dr. Lipy Gloria Rozario, who is currently the director of Healing Heart Counseling and is an adjunct professor at the University of Dhaka. She holds a PhD from there and a master's in spirituality and counseling psychology from the US. She also has done her bachelor's in clinical psychology in Italy. So without further ado, we will be starting today's session.
Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.
So, ma'am, let's move forward to the questions. So the first question I have for you for tonight is, from your perspective, what is the importance of mental health, especially during adolescence?
Actually, the adolescence is a very important and critical period because, right after the puberty, the adolescent, they have physical, emotional, and mental changes. So in this period, actually, they don't belong to neither to the children group, neither to the adult group. So they're confused. So they have the confusion and lack of belongingness. So they have lots of critical moment in that period. And it's really important that the parents or teachers or the peers are close to each other during this period to have proper mental health, proper well-being, because when you have the companionship, you have like some support group, then the adolescent, actually, they manage their life better. So it's very important that they take care of their mental health during this period.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. The next question we have is, how, because it's so prevalent right now into right now's period, while we're all adjusting to change, how is somebody's mental health affected during this time? For example, teenagers, be it for education, or even adults who are going through job crises and lots of anxiety. How does this affect their mental health, and how can they find comfort?
Yeah, actually, you properly articulated that during this period, this pandemic period, actually, the anxiety is really actually, it's very overwhelming because many people are anxious because, you rightly said, they are losing their job and they lost their job. And also the students, they cannot frequent their schools or colleges or universities. And also those who have middle class or lower class, they are having lots of difficulties just to have their food at the table because it's really a crisis moment. So they're suffering from anxiety, depression, they're suffering from acute stress because this is a traumatic situation for all. And they don't have certain tools actually to face these crises because we are not ready to face this crisis. So everyone is having the same kind of stress, anxiety, and depression. Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you think how can they stay calm or try to get through this day by day?
Yeah, actually, it's almost 3 months that all the people in Bangladesh, we are locked down. I mean, we are not having our daily activities. And it's really difficult because in the beginning, everybody took it easy in the sense, oh, we got a vacation for 2 months or 1 month. No school is fun. But now it's getting really critical because how long you can stay home. So how you can use this time productively. So still we have to be patient in the sense we are not out of a critical moment. So we have to have patience and we can use this time productively. Like the the teenagers, maybe for your well-being, of course, maybe you are having some kind of online courses and the schooling. And also you can, you have some friend circle among yourselves. So maybe you have you are having some kind of group discussion in the friends support group. Then also at home, you can have some kind of time for your own recreation, your exercise, physical exercises, family time, some kind of, you can watch some movie and some recreation, or have some kind of chatting with your peers. This way you can take care of yourselves. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Ma'am, do you suggest like specific mental health things like, let's say meditation or maybe yoga, or like just time for yourself at times? Do you suggest this for people our age during this period?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because exercise is very important. Yoga. Sometimes people say yoga means exercise, physical stretching. Actually, yoga has a deeper meaning. It's like spirituality, you know. So yoga and meditation are important because for all the people, you can also meditate. It's kind of it's a lay meditation. It's called mindfulness meditation. That means you can pay attention to every moment, each moment, because when you live in anxiety or depression, either you live in the past or in future. You are not living in the present. So it's very important that we enjoy each and every moment. It's not enjoying, but it's like living every moment, because during this crisis, everybody's anxious. But how we can reduce this anxiety? Like, for example, I can give you some example of when you consume your meal, like you are eating your breakfast or your lunch or dinner. You just pay attention to your food, like you use all your five senses. You see what size the food is, like apple or something, then the shape, the color, then you can feel the texture and feel if it's crunchy when you eat, you bite. Is it crunchy? You make sound. When you also feel the saliva in your mouth, you feel also you smell it. So you use all five senses when you eat, because every day you have to eat. So use this moment of eating, you doing the exercise of mindfulness. So mindful eating. And also when you also like you take shower, every day you have to take shower. It's hot and humid. No? So you use this time doing mindful shower, or your parents or those who are adults, they're working. So whoever is working, just do your work mindfully. Like you wash the dishes, okay. You are washing the plate, you are taking the soap, you are rubbing, you are rinsing, and you are just setting aside the dish. Just do everything mindfully so that your mind is not really trapped by all kinds of anxious thought, negative thought. So you can really live the present moment mindfully.
Right, ma'am.
So meditation is important. Another thing is important, like we all actually follow some religion, no? Christianism, Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim. So we also pray. So each one also can pray. Prayer is also contributing to have your mental health, mental well-being. So it's important that we have a lot of time.
Right.
We can do this. Yes. This way you can manage, you know.
Thank you. I think that's all very true because
ma'am.
we're very used to a fast-paced life. So I think somehow we should try to make the most out of this slower pace and try to focus on little things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so man, so a lot of teenagers nowadays can't meet their therapists. So what advice would you give to them who are suffering through depression or say anxiety? What advice would you give to them as now they can't meet their therapist?
Yeah, at this moment, actually, there are lots of online sessions going on, lots of offer. So maybe you can browse the internet, you can go to Facebook, and lots of available online counseling. If somebody needs, they can have the online session. Or if they don't have the possibility for counseling session, because it's like economic crisis, like people don't have much money.
Right.
So we can actually take care of ourselves. So we can give ourselves some kind of positive statement, like, okay, After each tunnel, there is always sunshine. So there will be some moment, maybe after a couple of months, we'll have some brightness. So hoping for the future, we'll have better future, and give ourselves positive message that okay, maybe this moment will not last long. We'll have some future. They can say to themselves a positive statement, also saying, okay, this time I'm having lots of time, like 2 months, 3 months. So maybe I can develop some skill for myself, you know. So nowadays people are saying that we need to actually equip ourselves with like IT skills, because now many people are using online things, like you are working online, you are everything online. So maybe you can have some skill.
Yes,
You know, this skill you can also manage your mental health. I mean, mental problem. Yes, yes.
That's very true.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. The next question we have is that this one's not exactly about the quarantine period, but more to raise awareness. What do you think are the most common forms of mental health problems that are found in Bangladesh, be it within adults or youths? Because a big percentage of the population actually faces different sorts of disorders that people don't even know about. So could you shed some light on the different kinds?
Yeah, yeah. Like the last research we had, like in mental health institute, the findings is that people in Bangladesh, they're mainly suffering from depression. But nowadays, with this pandemic situation, people are having lots of anxiety, you know, because we are living in uncertainty. No certainty, that no financial certainty, no schooling, no job, and everything. So we have lots of anxiety right now. And also there are some people who are managing their stresses, because it's acute stress problem now. Stresses with maybe some kind of alcohol consumption, or some kind of drug abuse. So these are the things that people are using right now. So these are bad way of managing their stress, but these are also mental health issue. And also for teenagers, they have the depression due to several things. Like for example, in this time, I mean teenager time, the relationship is very important, especially like attraction toward opposite sex. So when you have like kind of breakup or friendship is not going on well, that time you really feel depressed. So among the teenagers, lots of depression going on, and also anxiety, because you are also not able to meet physically. So you are always meeting virtually. So sometimes physical meeting is important, but which you cannot do right now. So these are creating some kind of depression and anxiety. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, despite almost 6 million people suffering from mental health conditions in Bangladesh, and about 16.8% of the adults suffering through depression, there's still this ongoing taboo going on about about talking about mental health. Many families doesn't even approve this. They don't talk about mental health. It's not even taken as a proper medical condition, or people don't seek help. So, ma'am, how do you think, why does this exist, and how do you think we can reduce it?
Actually, before saying about that, the stigma or taboo, I would say that actually people are not aware about mental illness. They do not know what it is. Sometimes people say, oh, that person is sad. Oh, that person is lazy. That person has no desire to work. বাংলা যেটা বলে ঢং করছে, হ্যাঁ ভান করছে, but they don't understand this laziness is the symptom of depression, you know. So people, they have lack of knowledge about different mental health problem, like depression symptom, anxiety symptom, or any other mental schizophrenia symptom. So they don't understand the mental problem. That is why they are not aware. Second thing is about the taboo. When they are aware also, they are stigmatized, because they don't want to take their family members out. They don't want to
Mhm.
show people that their family members are suffering from mental illness. So this is not good. But I have to say the positive thing that recently many people are aware, but still need to work about this awareness. Many people are aware, are there taking the counseling sessions, they're going to the mental health professionals, but still we need to work on this a lot. So I would say that awareness will actually awareness about the mental health problem and the symptoms, how you can recognize somebody is suffering from mental illness. So those kind of awareness will really make the people to seek the help, you know. So that way we can really come out of this stuff.
So, ma'am, talking about awareness, do you think like talking about mental health in general, if like us, we're conversating openly about mental health, do you think if us among our friends or families, if we talk about mental health conditions even more, will that be able to raise awareness?
Yes, you can talk about your family members. Yes, uh, uh, about the mental health, mental illness, and mental health both. And also this way that family members can tip the neighbors, you know, and you can also um, uh, arrange some program for mental health awareness in schools or in colleges or in open places, or you can add in some concert regarding the mental health awareness. You know, you can use so many avenues and venues to create awareness. Yes, of course.
Thank
Yes, ma'am.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
The next question we have for today is, I think a lot of people, maybe specifically the youth, are kind of torn between staying very busy and very productive, doing lots of things, learning new skills, and also trying to battle relaxing time. So what do you think is a healthy balance, or how can they choose how much to do of each?
Oh, great question. Yes, here comes the stress management. You know, when you are so busy with so many things, then you are stressed out. So the important thing will be like how you can manage your time. In order to manage your stress, you have to manage your time. So you have to learn the time management skills. So you can divide your day, how many hours you are dedicating for new skills. Then you need some relaxation time, eating time, sleeping time. And also when you actually organize your schedule, that time also you can set the priority. Okay, today I'm going to do this. Later this. So like you make a list, then the priority. And you have to give the time not only in skill, but also relaxation time, family time, you know. So you have to manage your time.
Thank you.
Ma'am, why is it, that's a really important question, ma'am. Why is it important to pay attention to mental health as much as physical health? Because a lot of people neglect mental health. They might work out or go to gym for physical health, but they tend to neglect mental health. So why is it as important to pay attention to mental health, ma'am?
Yeah, people actually, they do not understand the mental health. Actually, if you notice carefully, any mental illness actually affects the brain first. Brain is a physical, you know, the head, brain. So when it affects the brain, then you have a different kind of thinking, thought process. Your perception is different. Your behavior is different. Usually, the way you behave when you have mental illness, you are not behaving the same way. But people, they don't understand, you know, the effect of mental illness, how it's affecting the brain and your behavior, your emotion, and your thinking process. So they understand the physical illness. That is, they go to the doctor, but they don't pay attention to go to the psychologist or counselors, because even mental illness affect four areas. Mental, physical, emotional, and behavior. So people take care of the physical, but not other. They ignore other three areas. But it's very important to have a holistic treatment. I mean, we have to take care of ourselves holistically. body, we are body, mind, and spirit. So we have to take care of ourselves completely.
That's very true. Thank you.
Ma'am, we have a specific question from one of our audience. The question's 2 months into quarantine, I suddenly can't stop sleeping. I hardly recall staying up other than times I have to eat, shower, or use a restroom. I did some research online and they say it's a sign of depression. I try my level best to not sleep, but I just can't help it. I just need to know, could that be a possibility of depression?
And the symptoms you are actually mentioning in this text, yes, these are symptoms of depression. So this person needs to go to the counseling session. He can pursue for the online counseling session. Also there are some psychiatrists who are providing services now online. Also, this person, if he needs some psychiatric medicine, also he can contact the psychiatrist. It will be better that he seek the help right now, because all the symptoms are depression symptoms. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I think for today, those are all the questions we have. So before we sign off, this is mainly for the audience. We would like to shed light on the Project Purple plan itself. Because it is a mental health platform, we would encourage everybody to speak out about these issues, because sometimes sharing your own stories can really help others, and even a stranger responding to somebody else's can help them in a way that maybe somebody close to them can't. So on top of that, we would also maybe sometimes ask professionals like you, ma'am, to maybe help us with this site, and then help these people who can't afford to go to therapy sessions by giving them advice or consoling them. So on top of that, we will also be, after this, in the description below, we will be giving contact informations about therapists or counselors that many people can see, and possibly listing online websites where people during this quarantine can go for counseling. So we hope this has been helpful. So thank you
so much, ma'am, for joining in.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure talking with you, ma'am.
Okay, you're most welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.